yeah, what's going on, guys? It's been a hot minute since I've been on the YouTube. I'm just popping up here, see who shows up on a live stream, but it's been a hot minute. Unpacking still, organizing stuff. It's been rough, but how has everybody been doing? I'm not expecting much people to show up this late at night, but I figured I'd show up here and say hi. And if you're a new subscriber to my channel, thank you for subscribing and welcome to the family. Oh yeah. So yeah, and the people that, have been following me for a while, thank you for following and subscribing. And who's here? Oh yeah, I see two people. But yes, life been crazy. It's been settling down. I've been doing like 60 hours a week plus at work since like February, but now it's just moving in time, getting ready. This is what the new YouTube room is gonna be. I'm just a bunch of camera stuff everywhere, like fracking everywhere. Hey. Antonio's in the house. Stefan's in the house. How y'all doing? Whew, man. So, where have we been with Canon mirrorless cameras? Like, have you guys heard about the EOS R? I mean, every YouTuber in the name of YouTube has made a video about the EOS R. I'm pretty excited for it. I did not pre-order it, but I do plan on getting it when it does come out. So I kind of want to have it in my hand before I buy it, because the worst thing is pre-ordering something, having the money go through, and there's like that is sitting. And well, yeah, EOS R coming soon. It's like a mini 5D Mark IV, I think, but we'll see. Woo! I don't know what to talk. I have no clue what to talk about. Whoa! Let's see how to use this thing. Any word on the R or the Z7, Antonio asked? I'm thinking about switching to Nikon, but it's a tough decision. I mean, for me, I am well invested into Canon stuff. I mean, literally, let me turn this thing around. Like, this whole bin here is full of Canon lenses. It's pretty much full to the brim, and I have like bags everywhere, more fracking bags, but like, oh yeah, even this, Canon cameras everywhere. I'm pretty well invested into Canon lenses and Canon stuff, so I'm going to be staying with the Canon. But I did see Frono's photo, like, rant on the Z1, Z7, and I think he pretty much bashed it. But I don't know. Maybe when the Z7... the Canon EOS R and the Z7 comes out, I will do a comparison. Maybe I'll find a place to rent the Z7, because I have no point of buying the Z7, but we'll see. You know, this is kind of interesting. We play Jenga, not Jenga, Tetris as kids. There you go. That's my use of Tetris when I was a kid. So, you know, I'm sure PhotoDiox is wondering where I've been, because they sent me these lights here. Hashtag not sponsored, but they did send them to me. These are a little nice lights. They're radius lights, and they're supposed to be solid. Well, we'll find out in a future video. I've had that and the bigger one over here for a while. I haven't done any reviews on it, but here's the bigger one. Yeah, I got quite a few videos planned, just I need time to shoot them. What would you guys like to see? I mean, it's been a while. It's been like almost 3 months since I made a video, so I'm kind of behind on everything and what's going on in the YouTube world. Whew. But yeah, guys, that's a quick video, just checking in, saying hi to everybody. I had to do it because, you know, it's been a long time. It's kind of weird It's kind of weird that, 3 months went by so fast without putting a video up. But guys, I'll stay on for a little bit more. If anybody has any questions or comments, or you just want to hang out, well, that's it. Oh, so, bye, Stephen. So, I'm gonna plug this. That's the M50. Where's the M5? If anybody's interested, the M5. I'm putting it up for sale, so if anybody's interested, it is for sale. And like, it's pretty low mileage because I've only bought it for the review, and it's pretty good camera. So if you are interested, hit me up on social media. I don't know. Find me on Instagram and we'll work something out. If you're a subscriber, I'll give you a good deal. It's just the camera, not the lens. No lens, because I bought it just the camera when I bought it. Ooh, I don't know what to do. But anyway. I don't know what to talk about. Anyway, guys. Well, there's 7 people here, so check in, people. I want to see who's here. I'm actually doing this on my phone, if you guys haven't noticed, but yes. So, is anybody interested in photography videos, like photography how-tos? Like, I got a crap load of... My specialty is studio stuff, and those are like the light stands, and I got some Posse Buff stuff right there, and the strobes are probably downstairs. But if y'all interested in photo stuff, I'll be glad to do some tutorials and how-to. I'm gonna die in this room. Love more lighting videos, Stefan says. Yes, for sure. Yeah, I'll put that on my list. That's been on my my to-do for a while, but I just don't know how to make it different, because like everyone and their mother does like photography videos. They do like lighting, but I don't know how to make it different, but I'm sure I'll figure a way to make it different. Definitely in the Vapey Gamer said, definitely interested in the I'd buy that 5 if I just bought SL. Yeah, the M5 is a good camera. So is the EOS M and SL1. They're all just different cameras. They all do the same thing, to be honest. 4K is kind of the race right now, which, as the United States, we're kind of losing that race, because like the Eastern world is killing us. They're like, what they are, like 8K now as a standard or something like that. But I guess 4K 30 is what Canon's giving us with the EOS R. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name, but Mary Lynn? Hey, what's up? I got no clue what to talk about. That's the one thing about live videos, especially when it's like off the cuff and like spontaneous. Like, I don't know what to talk about. But I mean, I'm pretty stoked about the EOS R, and the new lenses actually are very intriguing, because that new mount, the R mount, it's much bigger. So there's a lot of potential for newer lenses, and lenses that take in more light. Like, they released a 28 to I think 70 or 28 to 80. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a f2, and that's pretty solid. But I won't be buying any of the new lenses yet. Maybe the 50 millimeter, but I'm really waiting on a 24 to 70. Maybe to put it into an f2. That'd be solid with an IS. Oh yeah. How do I feel about the EOS R IBIS, in-body image stabilization, and the crop factor? Well, coming from a production standpoint, a lot of cinema cameras have a crop factor, so that's nothing new to me. I mean, the industry and Sony has set a precedent of full frame 4K, which I do understand, and I understand why people are kind of like about the crop factor, but it doesn't bother me that much. Yes, it's going to be a hindrance because you can't get as wide as you want with the same lenses attached, but if the 4K is solid, it's solid. But I don't know. I do shoot with Sony. I shoot with a Sony A7S 2 and a A7R3, and I ain't gonna lie, the 4K is straight out like, whoa, it blows any of the 1080p footage away. But I mean, I don't have that autofocus from Canon when shooting with Sony, and it's very evident that the focus isn't as good on the Sonys. But it's a give or take. There's really no one perfect camera, which we would all love to have a perfect camera, but it's just not. Canon could have killed the game, but they didn't. The in-body stabilization, my thoughts on that is, I mean, shooting with the Sony, I go back to Sony because Sony has a great steady shot in-body stabilization, and the Canon options kind of suck. But I mean, not having in-body stabilization for so long, again, I might sound like a Canon fanboy, but you just get used to not having it and using other things like a gimbal or a stabilizer, or I have a Devin Graham's what do you call it, stabilizer junk. It just, there's other tools to work around it. The best part of the EOS R, it does 420, I believe, or 422 on the HDMI output, which is solid. It's really good for production. Let's see, what do I do for a job? I do audio-visual stuff for a job, so a range of stuff. I'm not an expert. I'm a jack of all trades, but expert in none. You know what I mean? Anything audio-visual I do. And I do a lot of photography on the side. Marilyn says, this iPhone thing is kind of weird using the chat. It wasn't going away. I don't understand that. But she says, good morning. It's my first time to watch you live. By the way, I'm getting a Canon M6. Oh, yeah. So, the thing about the Canon M6, if you can find a very good deal for it, go ahead and get the M6. But if you're buying the M6 new, check out the EOS, the Canon M50, because it's pretty much the same price as the M6 right now, unless you find a really good deal on a M6. But the M50 is, the new price is the same as the M6, and you have more features like the 120 frames a second and 4K, which is cropped, and no dual pixel autofocus. So the EOS R, which I'm pretty, am I making you guys dizzy walking back and forth? You gotta just sit down. The Canon EOS R has, in 4K, now has the dual pixel autofocus from Canon, which the M50 did not have, and that was unfortunate that they did not put dual pixel autofocus in the Canon M50 shooting 4K, because the 4K on the Canon M50 is actually pretty solid, but unless you're shooting manual focus, it's pretty garbage. And as a vlogger, you kind of need good autofocus. Ruben Hazley, I bought the M6, and Caucasian skin tones are way too red. Did you notice that? I do notice on the Canon cameras the color profile tends to be much warmer than a lot of other companies, which is great for skin tones and all that. A lot of ethnic people say they like the skin tones of the Canon straight out of the camera, but you can always compensate that with the color settings or the white balance inside the camera. You know what? That'd be an interesting video to try to do, like white people versus like ethnic people, and how to each camera, like what do they pick, like on skin tones and all that. Because I have seen a lot of vloggers and a few of them that I follow, I actually went back to Canon from going to Sony because of skin tones. But that isn't helpful for white people if it does make you red. I don't know. So, inside scoop. I am like colorblind. I fail all of the colorblind tests. Even though I can see color, I don't notice it sometimes. Like, if I have a reference, I can tell you what color it is. I can line up a bunch of colors and tell you from, red all the way to violet. But if you show me like a red stick, I might think it's green, yellow. But it's kind of interesting because like color temperature, I can tell a difference, like really, really small differences, and see different changes. But like if you show me an image, it might be red, but I might not notice it's too red. It's kind of weird being colorblind. Is anybody else colorblind here? Or color deficient, they would say. I'm just scrolling through the chat, see if I missed anything. Antonio says, nice to see you again. Yeah, nice to see everybody. It's nice to be on the live chat. Wow, there's 10 people here. I'm actually really surprised. Oh, yeah. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Let's talk about. So, this came straight out of China. I'm not sure if this is official or not. It actually has a Canon tag. It says it was Canon marketing stuff, so I don't know. That's kind of cute, the little EOS strap in the back. So, there's another plug too. The Canon M100, great camera still, but maybe getting rid of this soon. I don't know yet. I wonder what Canon is gonna do with the EOS M line, because they're gonna kill the game with the mirrorless. That's inevitable. But like, I guess the EOS M line is a different market. It's a market of sub $1,000. So let's see. Vapey Gamer says, how does the EFM PhotoDX adapter holding up? It's holding up very well. It's actually right here. Very good. $40. Okay, I have the Canon caps on here, but this is the PhotoDX adapter. But holds up very well. I usually mount the M50 with this and the Canon 16 to 35 millimeter lens. This is a 6D, but yep. Lens of choice is a 16 to 35 f4 with the IS. That's for sure. I mean, honestly, if you can't really tell a difference between the Canon version and the PhotoDX version, there's like slight things, to make it different, but if you just look at a glance, it's like this might have fell off a truck and somebody copied it. Ruben asked, will I be ordering the EOS R? Yes, I will be. I won't pre-order. I hate pre-ordering stuff because, like, I PayPal everything, and when you PayPal, they require the money to come out right then and there, and I don't want to have that money just sitting around collecting dust somewhere and not have a product in my hand. So I like to either go to a store or overnight it when somebody has it in stock. So when somebody has it in stock, I'll have it in my hands. So I'm not gonna buy any of the lenses for the EOS R because I just don't see any lenses that I really need. The 50mm is actually pretty cool, and maybe, but I really want a 16 to 35 with a really wide aperture, maybe f2, or maybe a 20 to 70 or a 70 to 200. I think did they release a 70 to 200? No, they didn't. Not for the EOS R. But the Canon adapters for the EOS R, that's definitely going to be in my shopping cart because I got a bunch of EF lenses. EF lenses for days. Speaking about EF lenses, the 85mm 1.4 4. I would pull it out of bin, but it's too much stuff in there. Like every YouTuber loves that lens for like B-rolls and stuff, but to be honest, that's kind of like my least used lens for video and vlogging, because like, I don't know, maybe I don't do much B-roll, and I don't. Dang, 20 minutes already. Time flies in the live chat or the live stream when you're having fun. So, I know all of y'all are here on YouTube watching this live stream. Do you guys watch any like YouTube Red stuff or YouTube videos? Because last night I actually watched a movie called The Thinning, which is actually pretty good. I was like, wow, this is a YouTube production? That's solid. Wow, 11 a.m. in Korea. Hello. Hello to you as well. Yep. Okay, now I saw a few of y'all got this thing. Either y'all mentioned it on the Instagram or you guys commented on the video, but this is still holding up. It's the remote control for the M50. It actually works for the 6D Mark II if anybody has a 6D Mark II as well. I tried to pair it with the M100 and the M5 and the M6, and it did not work, but it did work with the M50. Ruben, yes, that was the video with Logan Paul, and I was, even though he has some history behind him, the video was well produced, and I was very, very, what do you call it? I'm looking for the word. It was produced very well, and I was like, wow, for YouTube, that's solid. It makes you realize where YouTube production can go to. The new Netflix, Amazon Prime. You know, I have Amazon Prime, and watching the videos is like literally like 75% of the videos that shows up are all like homemade movies, and it looks like homemade because you know it's a low budget production. But I'm not dogging on low budget production, but you can see it in the video sometimes. Yeah, I totally understand avoiding him like the plague. The whole showing the dead body in, I think, Japan, that was interesting to say the least. I didn't see the video, but I did see all the controversy about it. Whew, I wonder. You know, I was trying to find the iPhone holder for the phone, but I couldn't find it today. That's why I'm hand holding everything. T Taz in the house. Oh yeah. T's my cousin. What up, cuz? Ooh. Well. Might be jumping off here soon. Ran out of ideas, ran out of things to talk. Wow, 23 minutes. Time does fly. So Antonio asks, Final Cut Pro or Adobe? It depends. Actually, I did a collaboration with Jamar Diggs, local marketing expert, and we talked about Final Cut, editing, Adobe editing, and you know what's the best for people, because he deals with a lot of businesses, and businesses usually like to save money. So let me go on this rant. If you have a Mac and you do not work for a corporation, or if you do not work with if you're not collabing with anybody, Final Cut Pro is perfect because it's $300, no subscription, and if you have a Mac, it runs hella great on a Mac. It runs runs very quick, it runs fast, and it's just an all-around great program. Now, if you work in the corporate world, or if you're doing a lot of collaborations, or if you're in the production world, Adobe is where it is because all the programs, After Effects, Premiere, Audition, Photoshop, so on and so on, everything can link together, and you can send a project to here, send it back, and all that. But that's kind of the only thing I would recommend Adobe for, is if you have been in there. Like, I've been with Premiere since version 1, and I'm an Adobe guy, even though they went to a subscription model, which kind of makes me sad, but then again, it's kind of cheaper because I'm paying a really good price, and it's still cheaper for that a year than buying the new software every year back in the day. But anyway, the subscription model with Adobe, $50 a month for Premiere and the other software, or you can get Final Cut Pro for like $300. It's kind of apple to oranges, is whatever you think is best. The magnetic timeline in Final Cut Pro is kind of weird to me because I come from the Adobe way of doing things, but whatever. What's really cool is on the iPhone, iPad, Android, there's not really one good editing software, which is, you have iMovie, which is solid, but you have like one track of audio, one track of video. Okay, so if all you need is one track of audio and video, that's cool. But there's a Luma Fusion, Luma Fusion, that gives you like 3 tracks of audio and three tracks of video, and you can do it on the iPhone or on iPad. And Luma Fusion is good, but if you're like me, you want to, I'm a Premiere user, so I can't export the Luma Fusion back into Premiere, so if I want to work on a desktop. Adobe is actually working on something called Rush, and that's supposed to be a cross-platform. It's be the same program for like the Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, but it's gonna be solid because you can export back into Premiere. Okay, I just ranted. Woo! So that's a little bit of my thoughts about that. Now, if you're talking about video editors, Filmora, I'm gonna do some tutorials on there on how to, and my reaction of how to do that, but I think it's like $40 or $50 for one-time fee, and it's a pretty decent editor. I was at VidCon, and I ran to the booth, and looking at the editing software, it looks pretty solid, and is geared towards online video editors, or video editors for online content. Woo! I mean, okay, so iMovie. So if you're on an iMac, if you're on a Mac, the Final Cut Pro is $300, but iMovie is free, and a lot of people do get away with iMovie. So unless you really need Final Cut Pro, don't get it. There's definitely cheaper options for beginners or whatever. Let's see, Vapor Gamer. Does the EOS R has an EF adapter included in the box with it? So at least there's that. No, you gotta buy the adapter, and it's ranging from I think $100 to $300, depending on what you get. There's 3 adapters. There's one adapter with no control ring, adapter with a control ring, and an adapter with drop-in filters. The drop-in filters one is going to be the most expensive, obviously, and I think the one without the control ring or with the control ring is like $100 or $200, which isn't that bad. So I wonder what PhotoDiox is going to do for the EF adapters, but we'll see. We'll see. They made a good one for the M series camera, so maybe the adapters for the R series cameras will be solid too. Yep. Woo! It's been a while. Okay, it's getting late. I don't even have a clock to literally check my computer. It's 10:05, so I think I am gonna peace out for real this time. Okay, guys. Thank you for hanging out. And if you have any questions, comments, you can comment down in the comments below, and I will still comment. I always try to reach and reply to everybody. So until next time, guys. Oh yeah. Peace out. Where's the stop button?